This is Hayes Q Jones, your DVD and Blu-ray baller on a budget, and this is HQ videos for you. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Please like, share, subscribe. If you're a current subscriber, Happy New Year. Right? Happy New Year to everyone. Come on in, make yourself at home. You know the routine. This week takes me to Pawn Shop Cash America. It's actually 3 separate trips kind of rolled up into one. Fantastic deals. Got some $2 4K Blu-rays, whole nine. Great pickups. But before I get into that, not only do I collect movies, yes, I'm one of these weird individuals. I actually like watching them on a regular basis. And on a regular basis, I like to share with you some of the things I watch during the week. To kick it off, I have 2 streaming shows. First one is a Netflix show, Alice in Borderland, both season 1 and season 2. I'd seen season 1 when it came out. Actually, rewatched it again because I forgot some parts, which I'm glad I did. Not to give too much away, and plus, if you're familiar with the Korean Netflix show Squid Game, if you're having a little Squid Game withdrawal, this is a good little fix right here. These group of people are basically fighting these horrific, life-threatening games, and I don't want to get into too much details. I don't like giving spoilers out, but the main difference between this and Squid Game, if you're familiar with Squid Game, in Squid Games they chose to be in the games. This one, they had no choice, and it has somewhat of a dystopian, apocalyptic type of feel to it. So, very excellent first season. Second season, I'm up to the 7th episode. My wife is watching now. She's catching up, so we'll probably watch the last 2 episodes together. Great first season, great second season. A lot of gory endings. So if you like that kind of suspense, gore, manga type of action, you'll like Alice in Borderland. It was actually based on the Japanese manga, written and illustrated by, I believe it's Haru Asu, and it stars Kento Yamazaki, Tao Tuchiya, Nobuki Kaneko, and Sho Aoyagi. I'm sure I could ruin these people's names though. Get a chance, watch season 1 and season 2, Alice in Borderland. The next show, this is actually very personal to me. This is Coach Prime on Amazon Prime. This stars Deion Sanders, who is the coach of Jackson State. Why this is very personal to me, I'm a graduate of Jackson State. Also, my dad, the real Hayes Jones, he's from Jackson. I was actually born in Mississippi, not in Jackson, but a small city not far from Jackson. So, very personal to me. This goes over the 2022 season of Jackson State and Deion Sanders coaching Jackson State. And I want to watch the first episode. I'm not going to spoil anything if you haven't catch up with HBCU football or Deion Sanders. I'm not going to tell you how the season went or some of the hiccups they had to overcome throughout the season. For example, if you get in the news, there was a huge water drought. Not water drought, but water issue where the water wasn't drinkable. And that was right smack dab at the beginning of Jackson State season. So the first episode kind of revolves around that, how Deion dealt with that and his players. Again, only 1 episode in, but looking forward to watching the rest. Coach Prime on Amazon Prime. This debuted December 2022. Just in case I didn't mention, Alice in Borderland, that debuted 2022, and the new season just came out. The original Alice in Borderland was 2020, and the second season was 2022. My next pick is a movie, but also streaming, Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery. This is a 2022 Netflix movie, written and directed by Ryan Johnson, starring Daniel Craig from the original Knives Out, with basically all new cast. You have Ed Norton, basically just being Ed Norton, Kate Hudson, who every day is starting to look a lot more like her mom, Goldie Hawn, Janelle Monáe, Catherine Hahn, who I just watched a few weeks ago on Bad Moms and Bad Moms Christmas, and Dave Bautista, Probably know him from Guardian of the Galaxy. Also, just watched him a couple weeks ago in a movie called Bushwick. But this is a tongue-in-cheek, dark comedy, murder mystery, pretty much in the same vein as the original Knives Out, except Daniel Craig is invited to this island owned by Ed Norton to partake in this kind of faux murder mystery, and it turns out to be a real murder, and it revolves around there. Very fun movie. It's a bit over 2 hours, but it moves very, very quickly, just like the original Knives Out. So if you like that type of Clue, whodunit mystery, you definitely like Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. My last pick, to me, is a classic. It's Buck and the Preacher. It came out in 1972, directed and starring Sidney Poitier, also Harry Belafonte, and Ruby Dee. This deals with blacks basically just getting out of slavery, moving to the West, and the interaction between Harry Belafonte, who is actually the preacher, and Sidney Poitier, who was kind of helping some of the newly freed slaves migrate to the West. Very interesting movie. Ruby Dee is looking too cute in this movie. The very young Ruby Dee. What's very interesting is I actually have the Criterion collection of this, where the supplements, the extras, and that was very interesting. They had Harry Belafonte's daughter talking about the movie and how she and her family were actually on the set while they were doing the movie. And originally, Sidney Poitier was not the director. They had someone else, and I guess he wasn't working out. So they let him go, and Harry Belafonte suggested that his acting friend, they've been friends before the movie, that he directed the movie. So very interesting as well. Some other things she shared about her father and his singing career, how he actually started out as an actor and not a singer, not vice versa. Very interesting, very classic movie. If you like Westerns, you like supplements, you like Criterion collections, you definitely like the 1972 Criterion collection of Buck and the Preacher. Now, without further ado, sit back, relax, have a drink, have a smoke, and I'll catch you on the other end of this video. And by the way, what you're looking at is a long distance view of downtown Tampa in the wintertime. We're at one of my favorite spots to pick up Blu-rays, DVDs, 4Ks, Cash America. Right now it's closed, it's a little bit before 9 o'clock. And if you notice here, if I were in Chicago, it'd be a heat wave, but in Florida, it's kind of cold, it's chilly. That's why I don't live in the Midwest anymore. About to pop my ass up into here and see what I can find, so let's hold on, get till they open up. Got another 5 minutes.
We are back at the Black Cave. Back at the Black Cave. We are back at the motherfucking Black Cave. Have 3 different sets of buys from 3 different weeks, all from Cash America. These are like $20, $20, and $5. You're gonna trip out when you see what I actually got for like $20, and $5. So let me get these scanned in. We'll get into these and get you good people on your way. Give me a moment. Oh yeah, and then forget my 3D pick and my classic pick for the week also. So stay tuned for that also. All right, for this week's haul, I actually have 3 different purchases from the same place in Cash America. I've had to rank these. The first one would be like, okay, you got some pretty decent deals. The second one is like, okay, I'm still balling on my budget. Third one is just like jackpot, is that kind of deal. But let me kick it off with what I got in the first bunch. The first bunch I paid about $20. Don't know what I have with the receipt. This is starring James Denton and Chris Kattan. And this, because Chris Kattan is just a goofy, weird person, it was just comedy, I was just more curious than anything. It was just like a morbid curiosity on what this would be like. Undead or Alive, image release. Never seen before. This, I have the disc, but I didn't have the artwork by a person I'm not that fond of as a person, but I got to give props to do. He makes some pretty decent movies. Clint Eastwood. This is a movie about Charlie Parker. Bird. You know, the Yardbird, Charlie Parker, fabulous musician. You have Forrest Whitaker. Love Forrest Whitaker playing Charlie Parker. And this is a Warner Brother release, Bird. Next one, I've seen this so many times, but never actually seen the movie. Not really familiar with any of these women. Busy Phillips, Carrie Lynn Pratt, Oliver Hudson, but it looked interesting. Kind of reminded me of Jawbreakers, at least that cover. It's an MGM release. And I'm guessing these are just like some young female crooks or bank robbers, the Smokers. MGM release. Next one, this just looks like a fly martial arts picture from Yuen Wu-Ping, action director of Kung Fu Hustle and Kill Bill 1 and 2. That's what got me, Kill Bill 1 and 2. Produced by Jackie Chan, House of Fury. And this is I think an indie label. It's at Sai Sang Entertainment. Well, indie to me, it might be big in China. I'm not that familiar with it. House of Fury. Next, Stolen, starring John Lucas and John Hamm. Suspense thriller. And this is IFC film. Got the old Blockbuster DVD case. Stolen. Next, we have Michael Fassbender, Marion, is that Cotillard? Macbeth. Never seen this. Kind of have to be in the mood in this Anchor Bay limited release. Have to be in the mood for Shakespeare. Just the language is so cumbersome for me to, I guess, translate in my head. I remember reading that in high school. It was almost like reading a foreign language, reading Shakespeare. But it's interesting, especially if you have a dynamic actor acting it, they can kind of pull it off. So interested to see what this is like. Macbeth, Anchor Bay release. Next, I've seen this title so many times, Princess Mononoke. I think I've seen it more on trailers, but I've never actually seen the actual anime full-length feature. This is a Sony release. Have the DVD and the Blu-ray. Princess Mononoke. Disney release. Next, we have See No Kane. Is that See No Kane? Kane See No Evil. Kane See No Evil. So I guess this is a slasher pick. Again, I've seen this title many a time, but for the right price, I picked it up. And this is a Lionsgate release. So slasher pick. Kane See No Evil. This actually had a 3-pack. I more or less got this for the artwork. Blazing Saddles, arguably one of the funniest movies, arguably a very racist movie. It just is a very fine line, but I think it's funny. Interesting little fact, as a kid I read the autobiography, semi-autobiography of Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor was actually supposed to be playing next to Gene Wilder because they always had this great chemistry together. I guess Richard Pryor was having personal issues at the time, and I guess they just didn't want him on the set, or it just didn't work out, so they picked Cleavon Little. So I often wonder what the movie would have been like if it had been Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder instead of Cleavon Little and Gene Wilder. But still, excellent movie, very funny. Blazing Saddles, Warner Brothers release. My last one from this pickup, another DC animated full-length picture, Son of Batman. And this is DC Warner Brothers. Nice slipcover, a little beat up, but not bad. And you have the Blu-ray and the DVD. Son of Batman. So, all of this was $20. That's 1 week. Let's go to week 2. Almost forgot, this is also included in that one. What I didn't know, and I haven't really verified, this guy at the pawn shop told me this is actually kind of the sequel to The Graduate with Dustin Hoffman. I haven't actually watched The Graduate, but I guess these are supposed to be, I'm not sure, but it's somehow related to The Graduate. Interested in watching both movies. So, Jennifer Aniston, Kevin Costner, Shirley MacLaine, and Mark Ruffalo. Rumor has it. So, again, this was $20. So, that was my really good pick. Next one, this is, I'm still balling on a budget pick. And this was the most latest one. And let's see. This one, you're going to trip out when I find out. Let me find out how much I paid for all of these. Let's see. Started with this one. I already have this, but my copy is a little beat up, a little scratched up. This is Metro. The Eddie Murphy movie you don't really hear a lot about. It really wasn't that funny. It's more of an action picture. It was somewhat of a dud, to be honest with you. I haven't watched in years, so maybe I'll think differently of it now. But Metro, this is Artisan. Can't see who's the distributor on this. Oh, Touchstone release. Eddie Murphy Metro. This will caught my eye. Yeah, Angela Bassett. Also, Vera Farmiga. Very interesting look. I like her as an actress. I like Kate Beckinsale also from Underground. Of course, I like Matt Dillon. Nothing But Truth. And it's based on a true story. Inspired by true events. Well, not necessarily true, but inspired by true events. Nothing But the Truth. So it looked interesting. This is a Sony release. Next, we got Wayne Brady. I think Wayne Brady, I would think of that Dave Chappelle sketch. I can't help it. I think most people do now. It's a Warner Brothers release. The List. She was everything he didn't know he wanted. And I guess this is a rom-com, romantic comedy. You got old boy from The Cosby, Malcolm, Jamal Warner. Also a girl from Fresh Prince, I believe. I think that's Flex. The List. Looks like a romantic comedy, Warner Brothers release. This, never heard of this, but the actors, all of them kind of intrigued me. Of course, you have Keanu, Vince Vaughn. Well, I find out it's kind of an asshole in real life, too. Tilda Swinton. So it looked interesting. The Thumbsucker. And this is a Sony release. It's like one of those quirky comedies. The Thumbsucker. Sony release. Next, we get to the Blu-rays here. Nope, still have a few more DVDs here. I already had this one, but my copy is a little scratchy, so, and for what I paid for these, it's definitely worth it. This is Chris Rock. I think that's Lawrence Fishburne's wife. She is very hot. Can't think of her name. Is that Kerry Washington? Yeah, it's Kerry Washington. Yeah, okay. And this is that side's kind of goofy, but the widescreen, that's what I really got it for. And this is a 20th Century Fox. I think I Love My Wife. Not a bad movie. It's comical. Next, another weird Chris Kattan. I don't know what it is about this dude. I don't think he's that talented. He's not that funny. He's just goofy as hell. It's just one of those things about myself I can't figure out, like why I like to Smurfs and why I like certain musicals like Seven Brothers for Seven Brides. Basically some rednecks getting stranded, humping each other, singing and dancing. So one of these weird things I don't know why I'm interested. And as I'm watching this, I'll probably be thinking, why the fuck am I watching this? So, but totally awesome. Chris Kattan. And this is a VH1? A VH1 Films release. Totally awesome. Now, to the Blu-rays here. White Boy Rick. This is supposed to be based on the Detroit drug or cocaine crack seller, White Boy Rick. And I hear it's like really far from the truth, so, but I think a lot of films are. They embellish a lot of things. Columbia Pictures release. White Boy Rick. Next, another Clint Eastwood film. Again, not my most favorite person, but heard this was a decent movie. Mule. I think this is about drug dealer get caught smuggling overseas. I'm not positive. And there's been several movies about that. The DVD and the Blu-ray. We'll see if this works. Nice. Slipcover's a little beat up though, but again, when you find out I pay for all this, you're like, yeah, it's worth it. Next, not big into war pictures though, but I heard this is pretty good. Dunkirk, 400,000 men couldn't get home, so home came for them. And this is a Warner Brothers release. Dunkirk. Nice work on the artwork for Warner Brothers. Blu-ray and the DVD. And Christopher Robin, love Ewan McGregor. Love Obi-Wan. I think if I'm not incorrect, he was in the heroin movie, I can't think of right now, with the baby walking on the wall. I think that's the first time I saw him, I believe. Christopher Robin, and I get through the story of how, I guess Christopher Robin came up, brand new, still in the plastic, the DVD and the Blu-ray. We'll see if this still works. Okay, what would you pay for all these? You know, $20, $15, $10. $5.38. Booyah! Yeah, I'm still balling on a budget. All right, that's the second pick. Oh, did I forget one? Yeah, forgot one. This is also in that pick too. Don't necessarily find her overly funny. She's just goofy. Rebel Wilson. That old boy, Thor's little brother. Another goofy dude. The Adam, the Divine. Isn't it romantic? Warner Brother release. Of the Blu-ray and the DVD. See if the code still works. So let me to recant what I said before, all of this was $5.38, $5.38. So she was really nice to me today. She was just like, she looked around like, go ahead, $5.38, go ahead, take it. I'm like, shh, thank you. So that's what the last set. Now you're saying, okay, no way you do better than that. This last set, yeah, this kind of blew me away a little bit. I double dipped on some titles. I mean, double dip. I mean, already had the title, but the deal was so good I couldn't pass it up. Let's start with the DVDs. First one, this is interesting. Val Kilmer, Jennifer Esposito, when she was probably still fine. It's a Sony release. Conspiracy. Unfortunately, I can't say I'm a huge Val Kilmer fan, but I think the two best roles he has out, he'll never do better. Tombstone and Heat, especially Tombstone, as he's playing Doc Holliday. I don't think that's the best he'll ever do. Conspiracy, and this is a Sony release. Next one, let's see. Babylon Brooklyn. I saw this a while ago, haven't seen it in a while. I was like, definitely pick it up, and it got me. I was featuring The Roots. Black Thought from The Roots. Roots is one of the top 10 lyricists of all time. He's just crazy talented, off the dome written as far as rhymes go. So just that alone, I was interested. Plus, I like Kadeem Hardison. And see, do I have these? Yep, I have Belly, Caught Up with Bokeem Woodbine, Foolish with Eddie Griffin. I have the Criterion Collection. I can't speak today. With old boy Forrest Whitaker. I have Hot Boys with Snoop and the No Limit Crew. Don't have this though, The Breaks. Never heard of that. Interesting. Babylon Brooklyn. This is the artisan release. Now with the Blu-rays here, start out with this, another DC animated full-length movie, Justice League War. We got Batman, got Shazam, Superman, Cyborg, and I'm guessing that's Wonder Woman back there. And speaking of DC, what is going on with DC? How could you cancel The Rock? You finally had to me, a action-packed DC movie with Black Adam. You had I don't want to spoil anything though. You got Henry Cavill, you got rid of Superman, you gotta do the Superman story all over again. You didn't piss my wife off with that. It's just like, God, like Spider-Man, they keep doing the same story over and over again. Like, yeah, no. But Justice War, sorry, I'm just ranting a little bit, babbling. My next one, I avoid getting this for so long because I hated Indiana basketball. I hated Bobby Knight, and I kind of figured this was kind of somewhat about Bobby Knight. But I'm like, all right, let's grow up a little bit, you know. You like Dennis Hopper, you like Gene Hackman. It might be an interesting story. Indiana basketball, not my necessarily flavor of basketball. You know, the 5 passes before you make a shot attempt kind of basketball though, but interesting story. Again, like Gene Hackman, love Dennis Hopper, so we'll see what this is about. Hoosiers, and this is an MGM 20th Century Fox release. Next, let's see. Another Blu-ray. I got this DVD, I think at Dollar Tree, so upgraded to the Blu-ray Max. It's a Warner Brothers release. And this is usually how Warner Brothers does their artwork, so when they actually do something different, I'm actually somewhat impressed, like they did on Dunkirk. So, Max, the Blu-ray, the Warner Brothers release. Let's see what else we have here. Okay. Dr. Sleep, excellent movie. My man Ewan McGregor is director's cut. just watched this last weekend with the wife. And Kels, if you're watching this, Kel Daily, I'm sorry, I still have to disagree with you. This is a great movie. Excellent movie. Loved it, but this is not better than The Shining. Sorry. We'll have to respectfully agree to disagree. This is not better than The Shining. Jack Nicholson was the bomb in that. My only complaint about this movie, they had flashbacks of the original movie, but for certain parts, they had the flashback using someone other than Shelley Duvall, and they had one scene was supposed to be a flashback or using Jack Nicholson, and they didn't use Jack Nicholson's actual face. That's my only complaint about Dr. Sleep. Other than that, it was an excellent movie. Sorry, Cal. Next, this one I'm double dipping, but for the price, just the artwork was so beautiful. I couldn't pass this up. The classic Ghostbusters, Bill Murray, Harold Ramis. Bill Murray, Harold Ramis, Dan Aykroyd. I can't think of Old Boy. But again, for the amount of money, I couldn't pass this up. Ghostbusters. Next. Yeah, 4K. Not the Zack Snyder. I have the Zack Snyder cut in 4K anyways, though. Decent movie, but DC, you need to get your shit together. You're really fucking up. So I have the Blu-ray and the 4K. See if the code still works. Batman, Superman. Another 4K. I already had the Blu-ray, so I wouldn't care about that though, but got the 4K. Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds. And I hear there's a Deadpool Wolverine movie coming out with Hugh Jackman. That sounds very interesting, intriguing. Deadpool, 20th Century Fox release. Yes, another 4K. The Revenant, which I haven't seen yet. Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Hardy, excuse me. I don't know why that ass was on my mind. Tom Hardy and Leonardo DiCaprio, The Revenant. This is actually based on a true story, which I didn't realize. And I don't want to give too much away because I didn't know that till I was watching something on the Travel Channel. And they had something about this, and it was related to the movie Revenant, so it's actually based somewhat either on a real story or a urban legend, something to that effect. And this is the 4K, and this is 20th Century Fox. And my last pick, which I was looking for, didn't expect to get the 4K. This is so much better than the first Suicide Squad. I love Harley Quinn so much better than this in the first one. She actually kind of took over the movie for me in this. DC, Warner Brothers. Didn't get the Blu-ray, but that's okay. I just got the 4K, and that's cool with me. And I guess it's the code. We'll see if the code works. So, think about this. For 4K, Steelbook, Dr. Sleep, Director's Cut with the slipcover. Just thrown in. Let me do my TV voice. Who would you pay for this? $5.99? Let's see. What? $30.99? $50.99? No. This is what I paid for this. $20, baby. Booyah. $20 gets you again. I'm so geeky about this. Hell, under normal circumstances, one 4K would be at least $20. 4K, Blu-ray, all this, $20. So this is my haul. Let me stop ranting. Let me separate the plastic from the disc and the artwork. See which one. I think only one of these is gonna actually. Oh, almost forgot. I have so much. My classic pick for the week, Hitchhikers. The reason why I have 2 copies, one of these didn't work for some reason. It wouldn't play, but the artwork is slightly different. Not necessarily on the disc, but on those. So slightly different artwork. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's why, because this one didn't have any back artwork. I love Most Def in this. He actually makes the movie for me. And this is who released this? I want to say Sony, just the way it looks. No, Touchstone. A lot of Touchstone stuff today. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And my 3D pick for the week. This is really some kind of artsy-fartsy type of 3D stuff. It's kind of that abstract art. I've only watched the first part. There's 2 different parts. But it's interesting. It's just kind of, if you have an extra 45 minutes to burn and you want something artsy in 3D, you might make some prototype. This is Grasshopper, some kind of indie release. Okay, now I'm done. Now, give me a moment. Let me separate the artwork from the plastic and the disc, and I'll get you people on your way. Hold on. Everything's scanned in today. Everything's scanned into my CLZ Movies app. That's C's in Commando, L's in Lethal Weapon, CLZ, Z is in Zulu Dawn. All right, let's wrap this up. I have everything scanned in, ready to be put back in its proper place. And I know this is a little bigger pickup than usual, but again, this is actually the culmination of 3 weeks at Cash America. But again, you made it this far. Thank you, I appreciate it. Give me the big thumbs up. Please like, share, subscribe. Other than that, may the best of your past be the worst of your future. Everyone be safe. Deuces.